Hey all, welcome back to the Fire Water Cooking Channel. I'm Darren, and today I'm going to do something pretty weird. You're probably going to think I'm crazy. I'm going to do some sous vide fried shrimp. That's right, I got some big colossal fried shrimp from Sprouts yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and take these out of the package. I'm going to peel them up, and we're going to sous vide them, and then we're going to fry them. I'll be right back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
All right, all, I'm back, and I want to show you these shrimp that I got. These are pretty big, and they are already kind of split, deveined, and they're pretty easy to peel. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to peel them up all the way and toss them in a colander and rinse them off. And when we sous vide these, we're not going to sous vide them for very long. I have my another cook going, the beef short ribs that are 2 days down the road. They're cooking at 131, and that's a perfect temperature to cook these shrimp at. And it's more just to par cook them a little bit before we throw them in the fryer, just so we don't have to keep them in the fryer as long. So when I get these all peeled up, we're really only going to put them in there for about 15 minutes at 131, and it's just going to really just kind of blanch them. And so we're not really sous viding them for a long time. So let me get these peeled up, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. I got them all peeled. They're looking pretty good, and all I'm going to do with them now is just pretty much put them in this vacuum seal bag. I'm just going to really just dump them right in. They're drained pretty much. I didn't really dry them off, just kind of drained them a little bit. I want them to be a little bit wet when they go in the bag, because all I'm going to do is take some of the Running Wild seafood seasoning, and I'm just going to dump it right on top of them in the bag, and just kind of move them around a little bit, shake them up. We're going to re-season these with the flour when we take them out to fry them anyway. So you say I'm just going to put a little bit of that seafood seasoning in there, mix it up in there with them in the bag, and we're going to seal it up, toss it in the sous vide. Like I said, it's already at 131, so we're just going to toss them in there for about 15 minutes. Let them get par cooked, and then we're going to toss them in with some flour and egg and fry them up. All right, all, I'm back. I got the shrimp in, and they've been in about 3 or 4 minutes, so they got a couple more minutes to be in there. Got my oil heating up outside on my induction burner, and what I'm going to do now is get my breading ready. So what I'm going to take is about cup and a half of just all-purpose flour, about a cup and a half, doesn't have to be exact for breading, and then about a cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, doesn't have to be exact either. And what we're doing, we're just going to make a nice floury breadcrumby type mixture. We're only going to dip these in the egg wash and in the flour once. We're not going to double dip them or double do it today. I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons of the Running Wild seafood seasoning. And about 2 tablespoons of the Heaven Made Products Amazing Cajun. Give us a little bit of heat, not too much. Then we're going to mix it in really good. That should be good enough. Then I'm going to take 2 eggs with about 2 tablespoons of water, and we're going to make an egg wash. You don't want to use just straight eggs because it'll make it too thick. So 2 eggs and about 2 tablespoons water. Makes it nice and thin to where it's sticking to the shrimp. so that coating will stay on. That's it. All right, and that's ready. When it gets out, we're gonna throw it in the egg wash, then throw it in the seasoned breadcrumbs and flour, and then we're gonna toss it in the fryer. So I'll be right back. All right, all they are out of the sous vide, and if you look, they're just starting to turn a little pink. So they weren't in there very long. 10-12 minutes, maybe just a little bit longer, just enough to get them par cooked. And what I'm going to do now is just pretty much just put them in the egg. They're not that hot, they're just kind of warm. Coat them in the egg really well. And we're going to toss them into the flour. I'm going to get as much of that egg wash off as we can so we don't have big clumps in the flour. And you always want to have one dry hand, one wet hand. So I'm putting the shrimp in with my wet hand. Then I'm going to toss them up with my dry hand. Like I said, you just want to get as much of that egg wash off as possible. And I usually will put, the whole batch in the flour. Then I'll put the rest of them in the egg wash while I let them sit in the egg wash a little bit while I'm doing the others. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my dry hand and mix them up in the flour and breadcrumb mixture. And just kind of drag it all off the bottom. Make sure they get coated really well. And then I'm just going to place them right on this rack. Let them dry out a little bit while we let the other ones sit in the egg wash. Shake up as much of the flour and breadcrumb mixture as you can. So less you have coming off in the oil itself, the better. Well, that's the first batch. I'm going to work on the second batch, and I'll be right back. All right, all my oil's up to temp at about 375. I'm going to go ahead and put all of these shrimp in at once because I've got plenty of oil in a deep enough pot that I shouldn't have any problem with them fitting all in this pot. So we're going to fry them up just enough to where they're nice and golden brown. It shouldn't take very long since we par cooked them, so just enough to flash fry them to get them nice and crispy. Then we toss them on the paper towel so that they get drained off real good on top of the rack. Then we're going to go ahead and take these inside and give them a taste and see how they turned out. I'll be right back, guys. Well, here we go, guys. Got our shrimp all done, ready to go. And they're hot out of the fryer. Nice and crispy. Lost some of the crust, but hey, what can you say? I'm going to try. I got a little bit of homemade tartar sauce I made. These are still kind of hot, so I'll blow on it a little bit. Well, it's crunchier than I thought it would be, but very tasty. I love that seasoning. Amazing Cajun, Running Wild seafood seasoning. It's pretty awesome. Check it out, try it. See if you can sous vide and fry some shrimp. We'll try all kinds of things here on the Fire and Water Cooking channel. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like, subscribe, share. And soon, the Fire and Water Cooking podcast will be out on iTunes. So check out that. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching.